What books do planets read? Comic books. You know, like comic books. For today's Draw With Me, we're going to be doing our solar system, which is super cool. I'm excited. We're going to need some circular objects to trace around. I used some coins and some lids of different sizes and a plate and some markers and some white paper, and we'll meet right back here. So we're going to be doing some planet drawing by using a few circle shapes that represent different sizes, and a plate I can use for a part of my sun. I'm not putting the whole sun because it's really big. So I put a little kind of bit of my sun. The next planet I'm doing is Mercury, which is the closest one to the sun. I used a quarter for that one. And the next one is Venus, which I went up a size, a little bit bigger bottle cap. And then there's Earth. Now Venus and Earth are kind of the same size, so I used the same cap. And I wanted to do the moon because I think the moon's really cute, so I used a dime for the moon. After that comes Mars. Now, Mars is really cool, and I've been learning about it lately, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So I used a cup for Jupiter because Jupiter is pretty big, and so is Saturn. Now I wanted to do some rings around Saturn, so I didn't trace completely around the planet. I left a couple little gaps where I can put the ring around Saturn. You know, there are actually a few planets that have rings around them, but we think of Saturn with the rings quite a bit. So the next planet I'm doing is Uranus, which also has a ring around it, and the planet is kind of on its side. So the ring looks like it's going vertical instead of horizontal. I'm going to add that too. And it is smaller than Saturn and Jupiter. So I used a different bottle cap. And the last one, Neptune, is kind of the same size as Uranus. And yeah. So the next thing I'm going to do, I wanted to make my planets look a little cute. I'm putting some faces on them. I gave Mercury some sunglasses because I thought he would need them because he's really close to the sun. And I'm going to go ahead and start coloring a little bit. Obviously, I made my sun yellow and I'm just filling that in. But I think it's really cool that we actually have pictures of all of these planets. We kind of have an idea of like the color and why the color is the way it is. Mercury is that gray color in the picture, and it usually has to do with the surface or the gases that are on the planet. So I'm doing Venus now. Now Venus is actually pretty close to Earth, the same size as Earth, but it is not a place that people from Earth would want to go. It is very hot there, and so it's not somewhere we can travel to. Yeah, and of course Earth. We've got a little smile for Earth, and I can use my blue and green markers. I'm gonna do the little moon, a tiny little smile there. Now there are other moons in the solar system, but I just didn't put them on. Mars actually has 2 moons, which is kind of cool. So I'm gonna just fill in Earth. As you can see, Earth is not the biggest planet around, but there are some planets smaller than it. So So for the moon, I'm just kind of making a little bit of it dark and then leaving the rest white. I don't really have a light gray color. So next is Mars. I was excited to color this one. They call it the red planet because it's got this like rusty red-brown color surface. Yeah, one of the reasons that I wanted to do these draw with me's is that the Perseverance rover landed on Mars just a few days ago. And so I wanted to celebrate that. It's pretty cool. And it was, you know, it takes about 7 months for the aircraft to travel to Mars. So it's been up there for a while. Now I'm coloring in Jupiter. Jupiter has that cool marble look. And Saturn. I had to get a bit creative here because some of the colors of these planets are hard to find a marker for. One of the cool things I learned about Mars is that it only has about 38% of the gravity that we have on Earth. So if you will weigh much less on Mars than you do on Earth, which is kind of cool. It doesn't have enough oxygen to support life in the atmosphere right now, and it is also kind of different weather than what we have. It's a lot colder because it is further away from the sun. Now I'm doing Uranus. It's like a kind of an aqua color. I didn't really have a marker for the color. It's a really pretty color. If you look up a photo of the planet Uranus, it's pretty cool. So, and then I've got Neptune, which is a blue color. And Neptune also has a ring around it, but I wasn't quite sure where to put it, so I left it off. It's kind of exciting. NASA plans to try and do a human trip to Mars in the next 10 years. So that'll be something cool to look forward to and to look out for. Now I thought my sun needed a little bit of extra heat. So I'm adding this kind of orange layer. Yeah, just like that. It's pretty close to Mercury now, but that's okay. I'm just gonna write what everything is so I don't forget. Mercury and Venus. So you could draw the orbits that these planets are in, and that could be cool too, or just put them wherever you think. You could have all of the planets lined up in a row, hanging out, put some arms and legs on them, whatever you guys think. Or you could color in the background to make it look dark, or with stars. Lots of cool ideas for drawing planets. We actually have a lot more planets out there. We just didn't have enough space for the newer ones that they have found. And this is just our little solar system. So I added some stars. I hope you like it. See you next time, guys. Bye.